or Google Play Store. And Midland makes a statement and gets a set in the books against Lindsey Wilson after dropping the first two, 25-16, 25-19. Midland outduels Lindsey Wilson to the third set win. And across the way, Southern Oregon doing the same thing to Park. They took a set. Now they are playing stronger and staying with Park in the fourth set. Let's see if Midland can do the same thing right here. If you enjoy exciting battles between two good teams. Lindsey Wilson, number 6 in the nation. Midland University, number 14. Midland has played some tough competition this year as they have the number 1 in the nation strength of schedule rating, which doesn't give you any more wins. It just tells folks that you have a team that is used to playing tough opponents, and boy, they got a tough one tonight in Lindsey Wilson on the last quarterfinal matchup. Midland will serve first. They need to keep winning. To the sideline, Mikelova. Pushed over by Ellie Burke for the kill. And Lindsey Wilson leads by 1. So Burke opens up with a smash and gets the kill down, and now she'll move back to serve. Ellie Burke puts it in play. Back to Russell. Push at the net. And an roofing call is called on Gracie Blomstad. And Midland takes the point 2-1. And Andy Cavins doesn't like that call. And in the game to serve for Midland will come Brooke Fredrickson. She has had a nice game for her team. Fredrickson with 2 kills in 7 swings, hit 143, but she has had a lot of good passing to keep things going. 2 players converge, overpass, and Midland can't put it away. Jenny Bear pushes it off the top of the block. Blomstad sticks her hand out, keeps it alive. The set pushed over by Peters. Big swing from Mikelova out the back door, and Midland leads 2-1. And Andy Cavins and the Blue Raiders wanted a touch call at the net. That one was about a foot over the touch in my estimation, but I have a much higher angle here. Klara Mikelova will serve, and they did get the touch call. So 2-1 Lindsey Wilson. So that sailed thanks to the touch of Midland, and now Lindsey Wilson leads 3-1. And Midland wants to shut down any long runs. That hangs on the net, falls back. That looked like it was like half a spin from falling over right at the feet of Peters. And that would have been an ace. But instead, it's a service error. And it's 3-2 Lindsey Wilson. Jenny Bear goes back to serve for the Warriors. Huge thigh brace. Can't be fun to play with. Big swing by Blomstad, knocked back by the block of Midland. A high lob back to Midland. A slide set to the outside, blocked back by Blomstad. She had the perfect angle. Bear gets dug out by Mikelova. The push down on the side didn't happen by Fredrickson, or Peterson rather, and deflected out of bounds behind the aerial for Midland, and Lindsey Wilson takes the 4-2 lead. And back to serve for Lindsey Wilson, Peyton Johnston. Johnston will set up on the right quadrant of the service line. Johnston's ready and puts it in play. Jenny Bear rather, gets the kill off the arm of Sarah Cruz. And a side out for Midland. It's a 1-point game, 4-3. Back to serve goes Priscilla O'Dowd for the Warriors. Each team has a pretty good player wearing number 13. And that's going to be an ace by Priscilla O'Dowd for the tie. Mikelova reached not far enough, and it hit the parquet floor. Priscilla O'Dowd will try to get the lead for Midland. Across the way, Southern Oregon is holding off Park, middle of the set. And the slide set goes down for Sobolewska. And Lindsey Wilson takes the 5-4 lead. Back to serve the setter, Autumn Proctor. Proctor will launch from the right corner, take it cross court. Perfect pass by Jenny Bear. A roller off the net on the swing by Morehouse and blocked out of bounds by Midland. Peterson got over there, but a little bit too late. And she sends it over towards the Lindsey Wilson bench. 6-4. A lead for Lindsey Wilson. If they win this, they play in tomorrow morning's semifinal. Big swing from the middle by Morehouse, covered by Lazerli. High shot back to Midland. Here's the shoot set to the outside, and it's down for Peterson. Taylor Peterson puts it away. Side out for Midland. Jessica Peters back to serve. Peters will send it back to Ellie Burt. The pass is on target. Huge swing from Sarah Cruz, and the reload finds the seam for the kill. 7-5, Lindsey Wilson. A little bit of daylight between the defenders, and perfectly swatted by Lindsey Wilson. DeSouza back to serve for the Blue Raiders. And DeSouza will ready herself, now launch. It's a 7-5 Lindsey Wilson lead. Swept into the air by Fredrickson. And a tomahawk to the floor for Taylor Peterson. They got it away from the double block, and Peterson was left with going up against a single, and she put it straight down to the floor. Caitlin Simon in the game to serve for the Warriors. Simon backs up against the wall, now takes a 6-step approach, take it cross court, just out the back door. How about the late no play by DeSouza? She watched that almost all the way to her jersey and then backed out of the way and got the easy point for her team. Larzerli back to serve. Pop up by O'Dowd. They take it cross court on the swing by Maggie Hyatt. Pushed over by Mikelova. The set to the outside to Bear, and it's down. And it's a 1-point game. Bear got into that one perfectly in transition and unloaded. And into the game to serve for the Midland Warriors, Mackenzie Wecker. She will take over as defensive specialist. 8-7, Lindsey Wilson. Crawling through the fourth set, service error for Wecker. And Lazerli celebrates in the middle of the floor. And back to serve will go Ellie Burke for the Blue Raiders. Burke launches back to her counterpart Russell. The big swing by O'Dowd, knocked back by Lindsey Wilson, and a stuff by O'Dowd. 9-8. Mikelova right into the teeth of the block of Priscilla O'Dowd. And Brooke Fredrickson back to serve. Fredrickson gets the whistle. Now she will go to her pre-serve routine. Here comes the high toss. It's about a 15-foot toss and rockets the overspin ball to Lazerli. Cross court for the sweet kill by Mikelova. Oh, she cocked that arm, got some extra MPH on it, and put it away. 10-8. And Klara Mikelova goes back to serve for the Blue Raiders. Mikelova launches, cross court, feathers it off the top of the net. Fredrickson makes the play, and Bear misses. And Lindsey Wilson is up by 3, 11-8. Across the way, Southern Oregon holding on to the 1-point lead over Park. They need this set as well. Klara Mikelova launches the jump serve. This is higher, might have been out, played by Fredrickson. The set to Morehouse, covered by Lindsey Wilson. Bump set. Ellie Burke pushes it over. The dump shot by Peters goes. She has not done that all day, and that was open. And she does it perfectly. 11-9 on the surprise tip by Jessica Peters. 11-9, Lindsey Wilson. Midland fighting hard. Here's Jenny Bear. And the dump shot the other way. That happens so often where one setter sees one setter do it, and then Right back comes the other one, Autumn Proctor, and she scores it too, so it's a wash. So note to these teams, when a setter does it, you better be ready for the other setter to do it to you. Peyton Johnston back to serve. Down the line, the pass is perfect, and a slide set to Priscilla O'Dow, jammed to the floor, and she is still hitting nearly 500. That's 16 kills and 31 swings, only one miss on the night. And that adds up to a 484 kill efficiency for Priscilla O'Dowd. Here's Morehouse into the net, and an error gives the point right back to Lindsey Wilson. Lindsey Wilson back to serve. Proctor pushes it over to the outside, and Bear gets it down. So these two teams trading points now as we slog through the middle part of this fourth set. It's 2-1 in sets. The lead belonging to Lindsey Wilson. Back to serve goes Jessica Peters. The block is waiting, and it's going to be a lift call on Lindsey Wilson. And once again, Andy Cavens has to get an explanation on that one. The upriff waits for everything to settle down, and Andy Cavens shakes his head, turns back to the bench. More of his players shake their head, and it's kind of a head-shaking experience. And now Ellie Burke will walk over and ask a question, and she gets a yellow card. Not her, but Andy Cavens gets a yellow card from the upriff, not liking that sportsmanship. Jess Peters back to serve. It's a one-point game. Mikelova, the slide set, pushed over by Sobolevska. Back row attack for Brooke Fredrickson. Here's Mikelova out the back door. We're tied up. 13-13. Midland trying to get this tied up at 2 sets apiece. And Lindsey Wilson trying to close out on the Midland Warriors. Mikelova, the set out to Sarah Cruz, pushed over, covered by Midland. The set back to Peterson. She is dug out by Lindsey Wilson. That was heading out the back door. Priscilla O'Dowd pushes, and Autumn Proctor makes a great play. Swept over the top for Morehouse. Back out to Sarah Cruz, who misses badly, and the lead goes to Midland. They have completed their comeback. Andy Cavens, with a sense of frustration, calls the timeout. It's 14-13 Midland in the fourth set, and we are back in a moment. 15 for Palmed out by 1. And waiting to serve is Jess Peters, the setter for Midland. Andy Cavens has his instructions in place as he's trying to get his team to get the side out. So here's Peters. Can Midland push some points and make this a 5-set match? Peters sends it back to Mikelova. Bump set by Proctor. Out to Sarah Cruz. Shoots for the donut hole. Not there. Quick set off the block and down for Morehouse. Morehouse pushes it off the block for the kill. Sidney's a sophomore from Papillion, Nebraska. Peters will try to add to the total. It's a 2-point lead. 15-13. That quick is going to be on the floor on the deflection as Sobolevska gets some wood on that one. And side out for Lindsey Wilson, 15-14. Lindsey Wilson has a banner hanging up here from being national volleyball champions in the NAIA last year. They'd like to have a chance to play for a repeat. DeSouza back to serve for the Blue Raiders. 15-14. Time is slowed down in this one. The quick set to the middle and a miss for Midland. Peterson calling for the tip, not there. And we are back to a 15-15 tie on the strength of 2 straight points for Lindsey Wilson. Nathalia DeSouza back to serve again for Lindsey Wilson. And it's fisted over for the miss. The lead goes back to Midland. It was kind of a punch serve as DeSouza tossed it, and then she just kind of punched it over, and it went long. 16-15. Everyone has their unique styles, and that's hers. Caitlin Simon back to serve for the Warriors. Simon launches the 6-step jumper, and she serves it out. Back-to-back service errors. And that leaves the score tied at 16. Lilo Larzerla back to serve. And she will put it in play. Who's going to break away and win this fourth set? Midland has righted their ship and put their foot in the sand and all that other stuff. That's through the block and down, and Midland takes the lead as Jenny Baer puts it away. She got a nice set on the outside and was able to twist it right off the outside block. Mackenzie Wecker back to serve for the Warriors. Wecker walks into her serve, sends it cross court to Mikelova. Proctor will set up Ellie Burke, and stuffed by Midland. Priscilla O'Dowd gets the stuffer, and Midland is up by 2. I have been doing a lot of matches this week, and most of them have been 3-set sweeps. This one may be the first one with a potential to go to 5. Mikelova up to the net. Proctor gets pushed over. Russell to the backside. Jenny Baer gets dug out with a nice move by Mikelova, and that bounces off the net out for De Souza. And it's a 3-point lead for Midland, and Annie Cavins is going to try to save the set as the Pride of Fremont, Nebraska have pulled out to the 3-point lead, 19-16. Where Southern, I don't think so. So Southern Oregon at 24, and they are ready to tie it up at 2 sets apiece and go to a 5th set. Everybody else has gone home, and we're all here enjoying great volleyball. Mikelova to the short one, picked off beautifully by Peter. She saw it coming. Tipped over the top. It's down for Midland. And Midland continues to think positively. Maggie Height gets it down on a little tip. 20-16, Midland. Momentum has changed sides of the net here, and that may help get it back for Lindsey Wilson as Mackenzie Wecker serves it out. Ellie Burke will go back to serve. It's a 3-point lead, 20-17. Keeping half an eye over there on Park and Southern Oregon because those are the 4 teams playing for the other 2 spots. Between these two, blocked out of bounds from Jenny Baer. Midland moves to 21, and they're tied up at 24 over at Park and Southern Oregon. So Park still with a chance to close out on Southern Oregon. First, they're going to go to a timeout. Right here, Midland up by 4, trying to take it home and send it to a 5th set. Brooke Fredrickson launches the high toss serve. Lazarli gets it. Tipped over on the dump shot attempt. Swept up. Baer off the block and down. And Midland's 1 point closer, 22-17. What courage from Midland to stay with it after going down 0-2 and finding a way to win. Remember, Midland with the toughest strength of schedule in the country. They have not had an easy time of it with their record this year. Brooke Fredrickson with a toss. Lazarli makes the beautiful pass. Out to Mikelova. Stuff block for Priscilla O'Dowd. 23-17. Midland 2 points away. Brooke Fredrickson and her team feeling it here on Lindsey Wilson. Lindsey Wilson sees the lead getting bigger and bigger. We're going to have a coin flip, I'm predicting, here in about a minute. Brooke Fredrickson, Mikelova, the set to the back row to Burke. Fredrickson on the dig, push at the net, swept into the air. Here's the set to the outside to Baer. Lazarli is right there. They load up Mikelova, cross court for the kill. Side out, Lindsey Wilson. Russell stuck out a hand that was probably heading on the court anyway. 23-18. Midland needs 2 before Lindsey Wilson can tie it up with a 5-point run. Mikelova sends it across the court to Wecker. Pumped into Ellie Burke. The quick to Blomstad. She gets the kill. 23-19, and Park wins it over there. So that comeback is not going to happen as Park wins it with 2 straight points out of the timeout. That fills in one of our remaining gaps. Mikelova back to serve. Service error, and Midland has Lindsey Wilson at set point. So fill in Park for 8:15 tomorrow night to await the winner of this one. And back to serve goes Jenny Bear. Set point from Midland to the back corner. Mikelova, Proctor outside. Dug out by Midland. The slide set is on the floor, and Priscilla O'Dowd wins it with a slide set kill. 25-19. We're going to the 5th set. One of the most exciting events in sports. A 15-pointer to decide who fills in the other gap on our brackets. We're back in a moment.